Sorry.
You know that feeling when you're reading the Murderbot Diaries and think, wow, I'd love to have a snarky rogue sec unit to binge watch serials with and hack into security feeds for fun? Yeah, same here. But Murderbot isn't the only bot lurking around in Martha Wells's universe. There's an entire ecosystem of machines doing everything from space farming to hauling cargo to being full-on walking tanks. And guess what? Each one is weirder and cooler than the last. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. In this video, we're diving deep into every type of bot in the Murderbot Diaries. From Constructionbots and drones to combat monsters that even Murderbot doesn't mess with, we're breaking down what they do, how they work, and why this world would absolutely collapse without them. Spoiler warning, we're talking about all the books, novellas, and even a bit from the Murderbot TV series. So if you're not caught up, consider this your cue to pause. Finish the series, trust us, it's worth it, and come back. Ready to explore the galaxy's weirdest and most wonderful bots? Let's go. Bots, the silent workforce. In the Murderbot Diaries, bots are essential, unseen workers that keep everything running in the vast, corporate-dominated universe. They do the kind of jobs that are either too dangerous, too repetitive, or too physically demanding for humans. Especially in space, massive cargo bots and haulers can operate in zero gravity, transferring cargo between ships and stations far more efficiently than any human ever could. While a human could technically be inside one, it's risky and inefficient. Bots in this world come in all shapes and sizes, from minuscule drones to entire starships that fly themselves. Some have basic programming, while others show signs of communication and emotional nuance. But as Martha Wells points out, even the more advanced ones lack the creativity and interpretive intelligence of humans. They're built for execution, not innovation. That said, some, like our favorite rogue sec unit, begin to blur the lines between programmed obedience and actual autonomy.
Let the adventure begin!
Murderbot Sec Unit. Let's start with the main character. So the most iconic bot in the series is, of course, Murderbot. It's a sec unit, short for security unit, and technically a construct, which means it's part machine, part human. Now, unlike a lot of sci-fi androids or AIs, Murderbot isn't walking around trying to discover the meaning of life. It's more like, I hacked my governor module, and now I'm going to watch 35 hours of space soap operas to avoid dealing with human emotions. But here's what makes sec units special. They have synthetic bones and metal skeletons, which makes them tougher than pretty much every human alive. Their forearms have built-in energy weapons. No need to carry guns when your arms are guns. They can interface directly with security systems, hence the name Sec Unit, and they absolutely do not eat. What's scary is that they were designed to follow orders and kill with maximum efficiency. But once Murderbot hacks its governor module, yeah, then we're dealing with a sentient killing machine that would rather not kill you, but totally could. CombatBots. Big, scary, and surprisingly polite. Now, if Murderbot is dangerous, CombatBots are pure nightmare fuel. These things are massive, like up to 3 meters tall. That's 10 feet, if you're not doing the math. They've got 4 limbs, armored like tanks, and can pull out a horrifying number of weapons. Some even have spider-like hands that can tear things apart in very creative ways. Murderbot doesn't like being around these guys. Not because they're evil, just because they're not hackable. That's right, Murderbot, who can break into almost anything, can't wirelessly take control of a combat bot. Also, they can talk. They use basic words, sometimes show what seems like emotion, but don't get too attached. They're still machines designed for mass destruction. If a sec unit is like a highly trained soldier with a mind of its own, a combat bot is like a sentient tank that just needs to be pointed at something. Eggbots, the creepy-looking farmers. Now let's completely shift gears to Eggbots, agriculture bots. These things look a little creepy. Long spidery limbs, weird curving necks, and heads covered in spikes. But don't worry, they're not here to fight, they're here to farm. Eggbots are designed to operate in delicate environments, like alien ecosystems or biodomes. Their whole structure is meant to be lightweight and non-destructive, so they can move through a field without squashing the crops. They're not particularly smart, and they're definitely not combat ready, but they play a crucial role in food production for colonies and mining operations. Think of them as terrifying space scarecrows that just want your broccoli to grow. Drones, Murderbot's favorite toys. Drones. These are the unsung heroes of the Murderbot Diaries. You've got everything from tiny bug-sized drones to ones big enough to act as recon scouts. Murderbot uses drones constantly, whether it's spying on humans, which it does a lot, checking out enemy movements, or creating diversions. Drones are Murderbot's Swiss Army knives. And the cool part, some of them are so basic they can't think for themselves, but others can be hacked and used almost like remote extensions of a sec unit's consciousness. Imagine sending out 3 floating GoPros that can also fight or run interference for you. Bot-piloted starships, not just background characters. In Murderbot's world, some ships fly themselves, literally. These are bot-piloted transports, and they can handle everything from docking to navigating wormholes. But don't confuse them with ART. Most transport bots are not very smart. They communicate in images, don't show a lot of personality, and mostly just want to complete their job and go back to sleep. But then we meet IRT, aka Asshole Research Transport. RT is different. It's like if Siri got a PhD in psychology and developed a superiority complex. It becomes Murderbot's frenemy, and their interactions are absolutely gold. Where Murderbot is antisocial and introverted, ART is weirdly chatty, highly educated, and a bit of a drama queen. If you ever wanted an AI buddy that could psychoanalyze you mid-space battle, ART is your guy, or bot, whatever. Haulerbots, space forklifts with no time for nonsense. Haulerbots are the quiet workhorses of stations and cargo bays. These things are basically forklifts with minds of their own, designed to move massive objects from point A to point B without crashing into people or airlocks. They're not flashy, they don't talk, they don't care. They're like, I'm here to move this crate and I'm gonna do it, whether you're in the way or not. That said, Murderbot has used them creatively a few times. If you can hack a Haulerbot at the right moment, it can become an impromptu battering ram or escape vehicle, not recommended for humans. Constructionbots, giant space Legos in motion. When you need to build a space station, mine, or planetary base, you call in the Constructionbots. These guys are larger and stronger than haulers, and they work in teams to build huge structures. They have basic coordination skills, and they're often overseen by a hub system or a human engineer, but on their own. They're not exactly doing calculus. They're like big space Roombas with hammers. Useful, dependable, and sometimes terrifying if they malfunction. Assemblybots. The first on the scene assemblers are kind of like the cousins of Constructionbots, but they specialize in setting up temporary infrastructure. Think inflatable life support systems, radiation shields, emergency shelters. They're the first bots to land on a new site and get things prepped before humans arrive. And just like that, they're forgotten, left behind, or repurposed once their job is done. Sad, right? Lifters. Gravitational muscle. When you're planet-side and need to lift something really, really heavy, you call in a Lifterbot. These are built specifically to function under gravity, so they're kind of like the gym rats of the bot world. They're low IQ, all strength. Think powerlifters with a basic GPS and no patience. Pathfinder Drones. Fancy space scouts that can blow up. Pathfinder drones are elite. They're used for deep space exploration, scanning atmospheres, mapping terrain, finding habitable areas. Most ships can't even afford them. But what happens when you take one of these expensive scouts and slap a warhead on it? You get Perihelion's custom weaponized Pathfinders, basically turning drones into space missiles. Because sometimes you just gotta explore and explode. Human form bots. Mickey and the awkward factor. Not all bots look like giant spiders or construction cranes. Some look just like people. Take Mickey from Rogue Protocol. Mickey is a human form bot, polite, sweet, kind of naive, and completely unprepared for the reality of the world. Human form bots are rare. Why? The human shape isn't ideal for most jobs. They cost way more. They tend to confuse the hell out of everyone, including themselves. Murderbot doesn't like them. They're a little too uncanny, and they remind it of things it doesn't want to deal with, like the whole "am I human or not?" debate. Other specialized bots, medbots, cleaners, service units. There are also a bunch of smaller bots running around doing everyday tasks. Medbots perform emergency surgeries and healing. Cleanerbots keep ships and stations spotless. Service bots guide passengers, deliver food, or help tourists not get lost. Murderbot either ignores these or manipulates them when needed. They're not threats, but they're not friends either. Our nerdy thoughts. The Murderbot Diaries aren't just about one rogue construct. They're about a whole universe built on bot labor. Some are tools, some are threats. A few, like RT and Murderbot, start to feel uncomfortably close to being people. And that's the real question, isn't it? When does a machine stop being a tool and start being something more? Something that thinks, chooses, feels? That's what makes this series so damn compelling. It's not just about robots. It's about what happens when those robots start asking the same questions we do. Want more on Murderbot? Drop a comment with your favorite bot in the series, or who you think would win in a fight, Murderbot or a swarm of combat drones. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive.
What the hell? What the hell? You could have killed me.
There was a chance, yes.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.